we're joined now by Olumayowa Apaflo, Senior Advocate, Financial for the Derivatives Company, live here in our Lagos studios. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
What do you make of the latest U.S. inflation data? Let's chew that first.
I think that it's in line with the U.S. Fed's target of 2% inflation. Even though we look at it that certain parts of it, such as the core inflation, was higher than expectations, right? But then looking at it, we think that it's temporary. We don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. And then aside that, the U.S. Fed usually doesn't only consider the inflation figures, they also look at the job market, right? And then looking at the job market, we've seen the September job report was strong, but then again, we've seen jobless claims for the week ending October 5. There was an increase in that, but that could also be temporary considering the weather events that's been happening, the hurricanes, Helene, Milton, and also the Boeing strike workers. That could have led to the increase that we've seen in initial jobless claims. But then we expect that the Federal Reserve will continue with easing. And the easing they've been on, I think we'll be expecting maybe a 25% basis point cut in the next MPC.
November meeting is very crucial. Everybody has their eyes on that.
Yes.
How do you think the Fed will decide? What would they be reading?
Based on the factors such as the inflation figures, also job market, because the Fed is very important in maintaining inflation figures at 2%. They also need to ensure that the job market still remains robust and that the economy doesn't slip into a recession. So we expect that they will continue, but they will be cautious. And then we're expecting a 25% reduction.
I'm sure that's one major thing for folks are the financial derivatives company. But again, there's this all about technology, OpenAI. Some talk about access, say some folks are trying to use ChatGPT to influence election outcomes and all of that. What's your view on that? Is that something very important to keep an eye on?
Oh yes, definitely. It's actually worrying to hear that because if this continues, it can actually hinder the integrity of the democratic process, right? And then it's only calling for intentionality between developers, regulatory bodies, ensuring that the right mitigants, the right tools are put in place to ensure that the wrong information is not passed out to affect the whole democratic process of any election.
Interesting how social media and AI are likely to impact elections. Like you said, it's something everyone should keep a permanent eye on moving forward, whether in the US or anywhere else. Is that a real threat?
Yes, it is. It definitely is. Even though we say that elections are not won on social media, right? But so we can't take away the fact that social media contributes to people's perception of what is happening in the country and what they choose to do. Social media would only help to improve the speed and that which information is passed out, right? And then when we look at AI, we have some people coming up with contents that come up fabricated but very believable. You can even have, aside the articles that you read, you also have videos, voices that have been fabricated with AI, and then people post this and then you think that is the real information, which is very damaging and can cause put a wrong signal out to the public. So it's very important to look at that angle. I think looking at, for instance, X, formerly Twitter, I think that they have a tool for that because sometimes when you're on X, you see certain posts and then you see it like a disclaimer, this post might have been created by an AI tool or something. So it helps you know what to pay attention to.
Should we have stiffer regulations on social media, AI? Do you support that move?
Regulations, yes. Stiffer, I don't know. Stiffer could easily be used in another time. I think that definitely there needs to be regulations so it's not misused, right? But to say that these are tools that we'll only keep seeing in the future as technology keeps advancing, AI will keep on increasing, and as it becomes more sophisticated, you see more people adopting, and the potential for misuse definitely increases. But so I think that there needs to be regulation. There needs to be a collaboration between the developers and even regulatory bodies to come up with the right tools to ensure that it is ethically used.
In the field of medicine, Microsoft has a new AI tools to ease what doctors and nurses do on behalf of the rest of us, and we really appreciate it. Give me more details about that, do you know?
Well, they're trying to actually reduce the time that medical practitioners spend on administrative tasks, so they have more time for patient care, which is I think is a very great use of AI. For instance, we hear stories of the NHS in the UK, and then them being swamped and burnt out, and people having long wait times before they can actually access medical care. So Microsoft is just doing things to help reduce that challenge. And also, when you look at it, they have the medical imaging software that also help doctors scan, interpret scans, genetical information, and then just helps them make sense of complex information in a at a faster space. You also have the healthcare service agent, also helping a tool to help come up with suitable clinical trials to match patients, and also the documentation part of it. I think they already have one for doctors, right? So now this is for nurses to document conversations between the doctors and the patient. So the nurses spend less time doing documentation work, and they have more time to take care and give that human care that the patients really actually need. But this is all in developmental stage, and it could take bit of time before we now see.
Something has just developed and just been launched, Robotaxi. Are you ready for that? If you find it on Lagos street, will you ride a Robotaxi?
It's exciting, right? It's exciting.
It was really exciting yesterday night to see on television. Yes.
And then Elon Musk coming out of it and everything. But also, very important, the safety part of it. It has to be proven that it is safe, it is reliable, and it has to meet regulatory standards, right? That needs to be addressed. And I think that there's still a bit of time that Tesla needs to spend thoroughly testing the product and also ensuring that it meets with regulatory approval. Already this year, I think in February, the U.S. National Highway Traffic Authority recalled some of Tesla's full self-driving cars because it was not, because of speeding. It also was flouting traffic rules, especially around intersections. And then in April, there was another case of a death.
Accident, of a woman.
Yeah, so those are very critical things that need to be addressed before
looks very nice. Television, I'm sure you're looking at it.
Yes.
Very cozy.
Yes, it looks like the Cybertruck, very futuristic, very techy.
Like you saw in the movies, but then without a steering wheel and all of that.
Pedals.
So this is it. You sure you're going to be comfortable with this? Just watching movies and the car just... Or even take a nap.
No.
Why the taxi just find its way around Lagos, whatever.
Let them prove that it's safe first. I'm not that adventurous.
Here you go. You're shaking. You don't look so. It's exciting. But you got your doubts. You got a few questions around. Like
because
you said, safety.
There are recent incidents about other vehicles that have shown that safety might be a concern.
What about a flying taxi? You just saw that display in the UK.
Yes, I saw that. That one reminded me of this animated series called Iwaju. I think it's by Disney. It was based on Lagos. In Lagos, we having flying cars and everything. That also seems very exciting, right?
Yeah, it's nice. Then, I think it's got kind of yellow color they put it. And that is Lagos taxis.
Yes, and imagine it reducing your commute time. The commute time that should have taken 45 minutes, taking it to 10 minutes. And then also zero emissions, meeting up with sustainable transportation goals that the world is actually looking towards to reduce carbon emissions. And so it's exciting, but again, safety, reliability, meeting government regulatory approvals, and it's still new, it's still in developmental stage.
Yes, it's futuristic. If you ask me between a robot taxi and a flying taxi, I'm going to tell you what my choice is later. But again, I've got to be careful of both security and safety. Yes. both of them. Thank you. It's been a very nice. Hope you had a great week so far.
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Regards to everyone at Financial Derivatives. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.